Muslim Viewpoint, a video podcast powered by the national non-profit media platform American Muslim Today. I'm your host, Rifat Malik, and today we dive into the latest situation in Pakistan, a country facing one of its most turbulent political chapters yet. How did a peaceful protest at the capital turn into what many are calling the Islamabad Massacre? And what does this mean for Pakistan's future? Let's unpack the details. This week, an Islamabad anti-terrorism court issued non-bailable arrest warrants for political opposition party Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's founder, Imran Khan, his wife, Bushra Bibi, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Ali Amin Gandapur, and 93 others for last week's protests in the federal capital. It all started on November the 13th. From behind prison walls, former Prime Minister Imran Khan issued what he called a final call for nationwide protests, setting the stage for a mass demonstration on November the 24th. His demands: the restoration of PTI's electoral mandate, the release of detained party members, and the reversal of the 26th Amendment, which he claimed strengthened what he described as a dictatorial regime. But what followed wasn't just a political rally, it was a day of violence. Security forces clashed with PTI supporters across Islamabad on November the 26th, leaving behind a grim toll of death and injuries. Have you seen the hashtag Islamabad Massacre trending on social media? Many have used it to describe what they call the state's use of brute force against peaceful citizens. But was it a massacre, as critics allege, or necessary action with limited casualties to maintain order, as the government insists? Normally, after any major incident, such as a terrorist attack, a natural disaster, or the like, health authorities and institutions issue official lists of the number of dead and injured who were brought to hospital. But this time around, healthcare authorities have not issued any such lists, and information being shared by journalists and social media users seems to be based on anonymous reports with nothing concrete to back them up. The allegations are, however, chilling. Reports from hospitals in Islamabad revealed that multiple casualties, dead and injured, were received that day. According to the Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences, 2 bodies and 28 injured individuals with gunshot wounds were brought in. PTI leaders claim the death toll is much higher than reported. Secretary General Salman Akram Raja suggests around 20 fatalities, while others speak of even greater numbers. Are these claims credible, or are they part of a broader effort to control the narrative? Meanwhile, the government has pushed back hard, denying any loss of life and asserting that security personnel were deployed without live ammunition. They've even formed a joint task force to trace what they call a massive malicious campaign aimed at discrediting the state. But here's the kicker. They've also accused Bushra Bibi, Imran Khan's wife, of orchestrating the unrest. Bibi, a figure who has long avoided the public spotlight, has suddenly found herself at the center of PTI's protest movement. Seen in an open-roof vehicle leading slogans during the march, she narrowly escaped when her convoy came under attack. Yet despite this, government ministers had pointed fingers, with Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi blaming the week's destruction on a hidden hand, her hand. What does it mean when the state turns its focus to a single individual? Is this about assigning responsibility, or is it about targeting a new symbol of dissent? Some analysts argue that Bushra Bibi's growing prominence is part of PTI's strategy to rally its base in the absence of its jailed leader. Could she become a unifying figure, or will her involvement deepen existing divisions within the party? Analyst Dalat Hussain has criticized PTI's reliance on social media, saying PTI learned there is more to politics than online narratives. Are we witnessing the limits of digital activism, or is this simply a test of PTI's adaptability in an evolving political landscape? On Sunday, the party's political committee held an important meeting and released a statement raising serious concerns about Imran Khan's health and safety. They've called for full and immediate access to him by his family, legal team, and party officials. Why? Well, because public anxiety over Khan's condition is growing by the day. The PTI committee insists that transparency and accountability in Khan's treatment are non-negotiable. They've demanded robust security measures for the former Prime Minister, issuing a clear warning: if there are any lapses, the Prime Minister, Punjab Chief Minister, and relevant state institutions will be held accountable. After more than 500 days in jail and over 100 charges to his name, Ranging from corruption to treason, Imran Khan remains a polarizing figure. According to Mashal Yousafzai, a close aide to Bushra Bibi, Khan feels his instructions are being manipulated or blocked by senior party leaders. Is this a sign of internal fractures within PTI, or is it evidence of a broader strategy to isolate him from his supporters? Meanwhile, PTI's incarcerated leaders have called for nationwide mourning. They've urged party members to visit bereaved families and organize Quran recitations. PTI has already established a crisis cell to collect details of those killed and injured during the protests. It has also advertised 4 WhatsApp numbers urging people to share information of those still missing, as well as videos and photos to prove what they call fascism unleashed by the state machinery at D-Chalk on November the 26th. PTI has also announced another march to Islamabad, this time promising to be better prepared. But with its leadership in disarray and its grassroots support tested, can the party truly rise to the occasion? And what about the government? By refusing to acknowledge casualties and doubling down on its denials, is it safeguarding its narrative or eroding public trust? As we close today's episode, let me leave you with this. When the lines between democracy and authoritarianism blur, how do we measure justice? By the protests in the streets, the voices silenced, or the lives lost? That's all for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning into the Muslim Viewpoint. If you appreciate our public service journalism, please consider supporting our non-profit registered 501c3 by following us on social media at American Muslim Today, or donating by visiting our website at americanmuslimtoday.com. And before you go, please be sure to hit the subscribe button.